Welcome back. Well, Manchester City are through to the final 8 of this season's UEFA Champions League. Pep Guardiola hasn't won this thing since 2011. Maybe this is the year. Varane, well, he will want to get out of Manchester as quickly as possible. He had an absolute nightmare, the World Cup winner. Damien, you thought City would be able to do enough to get through, and that's the way it turned out. Yeah,
I think they thoroughly deserved it, Dara. I don't think Real did enough at all. I thought Hazard, for his price tag and the name and everything that comes with him, I thought he was very poor, obviously not very fit. Kroos, Casemiro, Modric didn't really control the game in the centre midfield. I just think City were crisper, tighter in everything they did, especially in the final third. They pressed better, obviously. That's where they got the goal from. And I think they thoroughly deserve to go through. I'd still worried about them at the back, the Fernandinho position going forward in the competition, but they're definitely one of the hot favourites, yeah.
Yeah, what about those defensive vulnerabilities? We spoke about it beforehand. It's been a recurring theme with Manchester City. But look, Real Madrid, OK, they were able to punish them once, but no more.
Yeah, I think we're going to show the action, obviously, in a moment. Yeah. It's amazing to me how a player of Varane's ability, who's playing at this level, can make one of those mistakes, let alone two of those mistakes in the same night. I think City, I'd agree with everything Duffer said. They were better in the second half than the first half. They played their best football in the first leg, thoroughly deserved to go through. And I think what was disappointing for me watching Real Madrid, I mean, as Duffer said, like, I don't think Modric in midfield got an opportunity to dictate the pace or control the tempo the way he can. Hazard was flat. Benzema limited service up to him. I think they really missed Ramos's his personality as much as anything, his leadership, his experience, his authority, all of those descriptive terms. He was missing, really missing in the back. And I don't think there was a collective response. When they went 2-1 down tonight, sometimes you can see a team really rally, build up momentum, change the tempo, really put pressure on the City defence, try to take control. There was almost no response. There was no noticeable shift in anything from Madrid after they conceded the second goal. So it was a very flat response from them, and deservedly they're out.
OK, and actually Man City will now be playing Lyon in the final 8. Juventus beat them this evening, but Lyon go through on away goals. So Ronaldo's dream of winning the Champions League for Juventus is gone for another year. Let's have a look at these two goals and the two Varane howlers. A guy who's won a World Cup medal, all that sort of thing. Normally very calm, but
too calm here, you could argue, in this instance here. We spoke about it at half-time. I mean, Courtois is there still for a very simple 6 or 8 yard pass. He's facing him, like, he can't be unaware. He knows he's being closed down. Again, it's very difficult to describe. It's his second touch here that does the damage, that one there, but he just shows way too much of it to Jesus, who obviously is amazed with the gift. So it was just poor all over. And this ball forward, this is almost just like a percentage ball forward. You try and get the defenders facing their own goal. But why that's causing such difficulties for Varane, I don't know. He had one opportunity to clear it with his head, as we can see in a moment, and completely misses it. He is aware of what's behind him. You can see, heads the ball there. See, look at his head. You can see who's behind him, and then that. We'll talk here about, was this a Guardiola master plan, tactical display? You know, was all the money worth it? Like, that's what separated the two teams tonight when it really, really mattered.
OK. The other chances, Damien, that Manchester City created in that second half. Let's have a look at these. Yeah,
they had some very good chances there. They were just cleaner in their passing, as I said, and just played with a real tempo around the box. De Bruyne, as you expect, cutting in half. And Sterling off his weaker left foot. He'd be disappointed with that. But good run, good ball, just obviously a poor finish. But yeah, 3 or 4 really good chances in the second half. Here we go again with a high press. Courtois not looking too comfortable. Casemiro poor. And that change of gear then the minute they win the ball. If it's better here when Gundogan, it should be a little slot finish, I guess, from Sterling. But again, coming from that high energy, that high press that Real just couldn't really match all night. I just think City had another gear on them. Again, around the box. Beautiful play, as you'd expect. Lovely touch from Gundogan and great roll and shot from Jesus. So it could have been more, yes. I think Real had little fits and bursts, but like I said, nowhere near enough to go through.
Well, let's look at what, because you expect and you you want to see some urgency from Real when they fall behind. So what did we get in terms of opportunities?
Not quite a lot. It was the same old faces really getting involved. Obviously, Cruz here with a lovely ball. And Sensio made a slight difference coming on, penetrate and run. Benzema, like you said, you can see he's in good form, but didn't really get an awful lot of service all night. But you can see the two of them combining there. Again, Asensio and Benzema, great chop. Lovely ball again. Modric didn't really get a lot of the ball tonight. Listen, great block there on the line. Like I said, they didn't do nowhere near enough to go through. So hats off to Guardiola and City.
This could be some season for them, Richie, couldn't it? You know, now into the final 8, and you've the different configuration now, the one-off games and stuff. But I'm just thinking back to the CAS ruling from a few weeks ago and having the European ban overturned, you know, eyebrows will be raised this evening that they've knocked the ultimate European team out.
Yeah, I think, you know, you could turn around and say, well, CAS would have had no bearing on tonight's performance or the dressing room or the makeup of the squad or Guardiola's approach. You could say all of those things, but I do think it had a significant impact on the club, obviously. If you can imagine that ban hadn't been overturned, imagine the turmoil at director level at Man City. What's their transfer spend this summer? What's the type of player that they can entice given they're not in the Champions League? What are the types of players that are in their dressing room who now want to leave because there's no Champions League football? Would Guardiola himself have left? So all of those big questions that were hanging in the air if the ban was kept in place are now gone. And on tonight's result as well, like it's the difference in the two results tonight and the CAS ruling is significant. Given the format of the tournament now, it's one-off games in Lisbon. Like this is, I think every team because of the format will fancy their chances because they'll all believe that a 90-minute game against any opposition is winnable. No one has home advantage. There's no second leg to recover. If you bad 15-20 minute spell against teams of the opposition or of the quality that are in the tournament now, your tournament's over.
Yeah, I heard somebody say on the radio today, Damien, that there was a fear, or there is a fear with these one-off games now, that, you know, at the neutral grounds, as Richie says, that it could make the teams more conservative because you don't have another game to fix it, and there is so much at stake. So it might lead to cagier matches. I don't know. Do you see it that way?
Yeah. Obviously, the away goals, which can make two-legged ties fascinating over the years, that'll be gone from it. But it might give the likes of Paris Saint-Germain a chance. You know, you see them going away to teams in recent years and absolutely melting in the second leg. So the likes of them, they've got a clear run at the final. Obviously, City, I think, are possibly favourites then in Paris. And listen, Munich, what they did to Spurs earlier on the season, they'd be there or thereabouts. But the likes of Barca, I don't think they're the team they were, same as Real tonight. But City, you'd certainly give them a chance.
Would you like to see a new name on the trophy?
I'd like to see Manchester City on it, I would. I think Pep Guardiola, he's obviously won it twice before and he's always had top teams, but I do think he's a footballing genius as a coach, as a manager, and what he's done for the game. And listen, granted, he always has world-class players at his disposal, but I'd like to see him win it. OK, guys, well, they're in the last 8, Manchester City. They have as good a chance as anyone else. That is where we're going to have to leave it.